So now we need to also to find the second part. This will be x will be equal to minus 3. Now because we're going to use this negative, minus 9 divided by negative 6. This will result to the numerator will be negative 12 divided by negative 6, and our answer for x here will be equal to positive 2. So as you can see, we have obtained two answers for x. This answer and also this answer. Quadratic equations always must give you two answers. Now we move to the next area, whereby now we'll be using completing square method to solve this same equation and check whether we shall have similar answers. So our equation was minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6 equals to 0. So as to solve this, I need you to be very keen and follow all the steps that I'm going to show you. Most students tend to think that completing square method is very hard, but if you are going to follow this video keenly, you are going to find it very easy, a very easy method. Now first I need you to write this formula, the equation the way it was written, minus 3x squared plus 3x plus 6 equals to 0. For you to solve this, completing square method first dictates you first to remove any constant to the other side of the equal sign. That will be our first step. Then we shall remain with our equation to be minus 3x squared plus 3x equals to, because this is positive, now this will be negative 6. The second thing we need to do, we must eliminate this coefficient of x squared. Any number that is in front of x squared must be eliminated. So how can we eliminate this? We can do that by dividing all the terms by negative 3. We divide this by negative 3. We divide this by negative 3. Now after doing so, you can now, this negative 3 and this negative 3 will commit suicide. You'll have and also this one where they will cancel and have negative 1, and this will cancel, you have 2. So we shall have our equation as x squared minus, because of this negative here, x, this is the same as 1, equals to positive 2. Now after you've done that, remember now this term is like, this term is 1. Because there is no number, it means it's 1. Now the next step, you divide the coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x for this case is 1, by 2. Are we together? So we are going to divide this term that is here by 2, and now write as follows. Now we can write this as x minus Divide this by 2. What will you have? Yes, you shall have -1 over 2. Then now close this in bracket, then square it. You shall have equals to, we have our 2 there, plus, this step is critical also. What are we having here? This term, we are having what? -1/2. So you also come here, say -1/2 squared. Now we shall have our equation as x minus 1/2 squared equals to 2 plus -1/2 squared will be +1/4. So our equation now becomes x minus 1/2 squared equals to 2.25. Then the next thing we need to do here is to find the square root, both sides, square root, like that. Then we shall remain with x minus 1/2 equals to, whenever you find the square root of a number, remember you'll have two answers, plus or minus. When you find the square root of a number, you must have two answers. Now if we find the square root of this, it will be 1.5. Now the next step, we are almost done, is now taking this term on the other side of the equal sign. So remember, we said that if you take a number on the other side of the equal sign, the sign must change. So this is negative, now it will be positive, and we shall have x equals to, now it will be 1/2, which is the same as 0.5. Now it's positive because here it was negative and we've taken it over the equal sign. Our answer plus or minus 1.5. So as to get the first answer for x, we are going to use the positive sign. So our x will be equal to 0.5 plus 1.5, and this will give us, of course, 2. And for us to get the second value for x, we shall have to use now this sign, and that will be x equals to 0.5, now minus, because of this negative, 1.5, and that will give us -1. As you can see, using the two methods, you'll get two answers. X equals to -1, and or x equals to +2. You see, also a quadratic formula will give us two answers, and the two answers are equal, are the same, the way we obtained them in this question. You can check, the two answers are the same. So if you are told to use either of the two formulas, make sure you use them. and that's what you are expected to do.